All right, you already know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 5 between NoPing Esports and paiN Gaming for all the marbles and a spot in the minor. We have no confirmation on the marbles, but the minor spot is definitely there.
10 seconds remaining.
And we are here to witness who will make
5
it
seconds
between
remaining.
these two Brazilian powerhouses. I'm ready to go. I hope that you are. Lena, the first pick for NoPing Esports, paiN Gaming, get the Rubik. Marana's been banned out. There's still a Sand King in this draft. Faceless Void is not going to be here. Lashrak, neither. Coddle's in the pool. Gyrocopter's in the pool. And paiN Gaming have been trained to not take those heroes. They are... The first 3 games of this series were basically like,
10 seconds remaining.
we'll get Gyro Coddle, and maybe you can do something about it.
5
And
seconds
NoPing did
remaining.
something about it in games 2 and 3. Game 4, paiN Gaming said, we're done. We learned their lesson. We're not that stupid. And they went for something a little bit different, and they're going to get the Axe here as well, which they had in game number 4. Axe did pretty great. He got his items up. And he killed the heroes real good. He killed them dead.
10
NoPing
seconds
Esports, they've
remaining.
got Alina.
5 seconds remaining.
And Sand King is still in the pool. They're trying to decide if they want to go for it. They might decide not to with the axe already out there. They also haven't touched the Crystal Maiden, which we have seen some teams go for alongside the Lina. But there's a ton of goodies still left in this pool. It's just a matter of what NoPing Esports are planning on with this draft. I do have to apologize. It's been 7 hours and 20 minutes of this stream. So if I don't talk a lot, it's probably because we've already been through a ton of drafts tonight. And I've been solo casting through all of it. Undying is the pick for NoPing Esports. Having Axe and Undying on the same team was a little bit debilitating in the last game. So, Undying now on the Radiant side.
10 seconds remaining.
Means that we're not going to have that duo together.
5
And NoPing
seconds
Esports have a
remaining.
little bit more early game presence on their side.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Now we get to the next banning phase. Gyrocopter's been banned away. Templar Assassin takeout as well. Lifestealer still in the pool. NoPing may decide to do away with it here. There's also a Sand King available for NoPing. Hasn't been banned
10
away yet.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
NoPing in the last game, I don't know. They went with the Naga Siren. The Naga Siren just didn't get enough farm, and that was a 4th pick Naga. They took Monkey King last. So I don't even think that paiN did a huge amount to counter it. They just went Lifestealer and farmed better.
Dire team ban.
Coddle gets banned away. Okay. So that was let through. And now NoPing Esports are like, hey, so we realized that we left Gyrocopter and Coddle in the draft, but we're going to ban them away with the second phase of bans.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds
Honestly, I
remaining.
wouldn't be surprised if paiN Gaming go for a Lifestealer again, even though it's not as great against Undying.
Dire team
Bloodseeker gets banned out. Pretty typical for them. TA Bloodseeker have generally been the second phase bans from paiN Gaming. Hasn't changed really at all throughout this series. So third pick. Undying not available. Tusk is. Tusk has had some success for them, even though game 2 it kind of got wrecked a little bit because it was against a Sand King. Sand King's still available in the draft, but paiN Gaming won't be going for it here. They've picked up the axe. And the pick is a Grimstroke. That's a new hero. Haven't seen him for a while. This could get really interesting because you have a Rubik next to a Grimstroke. So Rubik could get a ton of spells and start putting them onto the Grimstroke soulbind targets.
10 seconds remaining.
That could be very interesting.
5 seconds remaining.
For NoPing Esports, still looking for their offlaner. And they have dipped pretty deep into the reserve time for this. I want to make sure that they don't go wrong with this third phase. And okay, a Magnus. That makes me think that we're going to see a Juggernaut come out, or possibly even a PA. PA has shown her face a little bit in these qualifiers before. I don't really like a PA. Sorry. I couldn't get to my mute button fast enough. I don't really like a PA here. I think it's a little bit too greedy. She would be a little too farm focused. And do you really like going PA into Axe? I don't know about that. So the question becomes, who is this Magnus going to be paired with? And I think it's going to be a Juggernaut, but I'm not sure. It's interesting to see a Magnus come out this late in the game. Oh, the other question is this going to be a 3-position Magnus, or is Lena going mid?
Radiant team pick.
Dragon Knight picked up for paiN Gaming. Okay. And it's a Life Stealer. Oh. So it's not going to be either a Juggernaut or a PA, but the Life Stealer. It's a little bit more boring. So we'll see how Life Stealer does against Axe.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Monkey King gets banned out. Someone just called out my fidget spinner, and it kind of makes me laugh that you guys can hear that. When you do as much production as I have, and I do a lot of production out of my room here, just like with other casters. You get a few toys to play with. There's also a program, I don't know, I should probably be talking about the draft, but there's also a program out there called vMix, and you can send your camera feeds out to casters. So, and you can send it from any source. So sometimes I have this like back camera that's behind me that I would send to casters, and they could like sort of watch the screen off of my monitor through that camera. It's kind of cool. You probably don't care, but it's interesting. You know, a little bit of a backstage look to some of the casting. Morphling gets banned up by...
5 seconds remaining.
Morphling gets banned up by NoPing Esports. And It's generally good when you have a lifestealer picked up and a last pick
Dire
slot
team
left. Necrophos. I love that we're getting new heroes into this draft for the last game. It's like all these teams were saving strats. Saving strats until the last possible second to make it into the minor, you know. You don't want to show all your cards on the table. NoPing Esports, I kind of like this. You have
10 seconds
a good
remaining.
I don't really think that paiN Gaming go any later than NoPing Esports do.
5 seconds remaining.
Man, it has been a long night. uh let's see. paiN Gaming, their last pick. It's gonna have to be the big carry, and it's gonna be the Arc
You
Warden.
may now select
That's
your
exciting.
heroes.
HFN has had he had a really good game as the Arc Warden earlier. I love that we're just getting a ton of different things. So Necrophos versus Arc Warden mid, I guess? Unless they're putting the Dragon Knight there. I guess we'll have to see. I know that HFN played the Arc Warden mid before. Okay, so our lineups are set. This is game number 5. We're not going to play any more Dota after this. I'm quitting after this game is over. It's also going to be the end of the series, so there's that. It's been a fun series to get to this point, filled with tons of gyrocopter coddle until it wasn't anymore. And fittingly, this game will not have either of those heroes in it. NoPing Esports. I don't know. In the South America qualifiers, there have been a lot of games that have been sort of been decided by how good your team fight is. And that's why the Void was so good last night, because there were a ton of like really good chronos, and the teams didn't really have the discipline to make sure that they didn't group up for it. They would kind of not be grouped up at the beginning of the fight, and then things would go on, and eventually they would be like all 3 or 4 in the same place, and the Void would pick his opportunity, go for it, and win the fight off of that. And that was how Furia versus NoPing Esports went. Well, now the Void has been banned out pretty much every single game out of this best of 5, and thank God we're not seeing that hero, because I don't want to sit here for another hour-long game. But you know what? If we have another hour-long game in this one, I won't complain, because it is deciding who goes to the great city of LA for a fantastic minor brought to you by Beyond the Summit. Hey, that's the channel that we're on right now. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's happy to get into the game. And I am happy as well, because it means that we will soon be figuring out who gets to go. So all of our heroes making their way out onto the map.
What did you expect?
Got Arc Warden in the mid lane for HFN. 40R taking the Dragon Knight top. We'll see how that works. And Lelis is swagging his way around the bottom lane. It's going to be the early battle hunger onto Undying. Be real hungry for battle. But Grimstroke shows himself in the trees. Now Undying should be really happy here with 3 heroes to decay. But
The battle begins.
he's not going to be feeling comfortable enough to go and contest the rune. So we'll have again a 2-2 split. And get into our lanes. I'm doing like 2 different jobs at once right now. The courier's going to go past Grimstroke in the mid lane, and they should have the vision of this as it gets in there. So We'll see if Grimstroke can get the courier snipe now. He counts, and there you go. 1, 2.
Radiant's
Goodbye to
turret
your
has been
courier.
killed.
He immediately TPs to the top lane. So they get a cool little courier snipe. That's going to disrupt Lapsus's laning here. Donha gets the LSA in the trees. A bunch of LSAs hit by this guy. He's been having a pretty good qualifiers in my opinion. In the mid lane, Necrophos getting a bit deep against HFN. And is getting the denies there. Top lane, Dragon Knight's super low. He's not gotten enough levels right now to be survivable or too survivable against this. Oh my gosh, look at that HP on the axe. 380, now 460 as some of the decay goes away. I'm going to assume that the Undying goes and denies himself soon, but it's going to have to take a little bit longer to do that. As he has been hit with the Battle Hunger. So maybe he just stays in lane. He has a healing salve, so he'll be fine. He's just waiting for his decay stacks to go off a little bit. Dragon Knight being forced away from the creeps here. LSA will hit. He's still only level 2 with 1 level into the Dragon Blood. Oh, ooh, Rubik very far up. But with Undying slowed down, it's going to be a lot easier for Rubik to stay alive. And mid lane. Still a lot of heroes getting close to death here, but nobody actually dying. They're playing right on the razor's edge. Ooh, over at top, skewer back onto the Dragon Knight. LSA is off of cooldown in 1 second, and she won't use it there. But meanwhile, while I go away from the lane, it's exactly the wrong move. This Observer's terrible. And another courier snipe by the Rubik. That's a bit aggressive. So even though the Rubik, well, the Rubik goes to mid and then snipes the courier, but gives it first blood. The courier actually had some items on it. This makes Lapsus's mid lane very difficult. Another stun goes out onto the Grimstroke. The Flux is there on the Lapsus, but the creep wave arrives to save him. And over at top, we have the Inkswell going on to the Magnus. Magnus getting low. LSA hits once again onto the Grimstroke, and Lina will find him in the trees. That's a kill. Lelis moving away from the Undying. Leicester doesn't care to be over here to help at all. He's not really fast, not able to chase the X down, and Axe will keep spinning to win. Taken down to 500 health, though. That really does hurt. Rubik is here, does barely any damage to the Undying. And the Undying will slap the Rubik a little bit. Now the Leicester comes over here. TP out for the Rubik, and that's all you got to do. Lelis taken low, but he's still spinning, and he's still got a huge creep wave for himself. So in the early game, Leicester with a good amount of last hits, he hasn't been too bothered by the distractions of the Axe and Rubik. But the real problem is in this mid lane, where even though they've put a lot of effort into making Lapsus's game not very good at all, like making it more difficult for him, he's still managed to get to 21 last hits. He's keeping up with the Arc Warden only with a slight XP lead due to the denies. Bounty runes, it's going to be Lina taking the one top, so it should be 3-1 in favor of NoPing Esports here. Yeah, so King RD stays in the lane while Donha gets the bounty rune top to make it 3-for-1. Axe is playing around here. He doesn't really care about this and dying at all until he gets a bit closer. Now in the mid lane, Laps is way too far up. He's not got a death pulse. He's super dead. Now Lina comes in from behind, trying to go after HFN. Stayed for a little bit long. It was a little bit crazy to think that he was going to be able to have any kind of effect there. The Rays are going to chase after him, giving HFN the double kill. I don't really know if the Lina thought she could survive there, but she did. She did survive for a while, I guess. And Laps is now even further behind the Arc Warden in terms of levels. Not at his Reaper Scythe yet. Lois keeps running. He is super fast with his brown boots. Lina gets a little bit distracted and gets the Battle Hunger off of herself to be able to use the Clarity. Meanwhile, in top, we've got, ooh, Skewer. He's not going to be able to get out. HFN finds another one. HFN doing so much work as the Arc Warden. And he's really showing why he can make the hero work here. Going for possibly another kill here. 2 Spark Race up. Grimstroke waiting in the wings. Meanwhile, Axe is chasing after a hero bottom. See, that's some top observer skills in action. All I have to do is look at the map and I can see what's going on. It's Lina. Now Lapsus is going to get hit with an Ink Swell. There's a Spark Wraith there as well. They want to give the kill to the Arc Warden, and he gets the hit uphill to find it. Oh, he tried the cliff! He tried to get him on the cliff! With the first Elder Dragon form, this Dragon Knight takes the tower. I think that's the first one. Did just get to level 6. So while this Dragon Knight wasn't having a great time to start, he's gotten his team the first tower of the game. Before Magnus can really get going at all, he's very low on the net worth chart. So paiN Gaming already starting their dominance here in game number 5. Skewer for the Rubik. Rubik will throw the Magnus back over to the Lina, which gives the Alcor the space that he needs to survive. Dragon Slave is usable, but it wouldn't really have the range for it. And does he walk? Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. Why would you do it? 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 That doesn't make sense. That's not how you Dota. In any case, the Rubik decides that he really wants to get hit by a Reaper Scythe. It was like, you know what, today I woke up, dear diary, today I woke up and I wanted to get Reaper Scythed. That was ill-advised. And that word was down for a while. I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe that ward wasn't there, but it was there. He knew that the Necrophos was right there with the Reaper Scythe, and he just wanted to die. Maybe he's like masochistic or something. Anyway, Lapsus in the mid lane. He's about to get taken down. Lift is there. Rubik gets the revenge, and that's all he wanted, you know? He just wanted to feed so that he could get Reaper Scythe and then get some revenge. Axe will fall inside the jungle. Meanwhile, though, we've got Rubik going deep in the mid lane for the Undying kill. So even while that's happening to the Axe, paiN Gaming are taking more around the map. Another Elder Dragon form will be taking down the tower. Lifestealer shows up with a rage so that he doesn't get stunned. And another magnetic field for the Dragon Knight. This dragon just takes down towers. There's nothing you can do to stop it. They try to deny it, still not going to happen. Is that all 5 heroes for the Radiant side showing up into the mid lane? Oh, double damage rune for Rubik. He gets distracted by it for a second. Did the Lifestealer have... I guess he had Rage Share and didn't feel like using it. Didn't really have the timing. So, 5k gold lead already for paiN Gaming. You've got an Arc Warden who's getting out of control. He's got a Midas, very close to a Maelstrom, about 150 gold there. Axe is pushing in bottom. He's looking for a Blink Dagger that was delayed a little bit due to feeding a couple of kills over. But unlike the Lifestealer from the last game, there is a hero that's outpacing. Sorry, that was really awkward. The Naga Siren had no claim to outfarm the Lifestealer in the last game, but now with the Midas of the Arc Warden, it should be much easier to keep up there. So unfortunately for NoPing, that hero is just not really working out as much in this series. 4DR, another Elder Dragon form up in 7 seconds. The tier 1 tower bottom is still alive, so as soon as he gets that Elder Dragon form, you see him TP way over to the bottom lane, and his team will most likely group up to take that tower down and seize a little bit more control over the map. Ooh, Courier. It's the Dire Courier, which is a fantastic Llama Llama. Big ups to Llama Llama. He has been delivering items all series better than DHL. I hope I can say that. Hashtag definitely not sponsored. That's like the reverse not sponsored. I wouldn't want you to... Oh, you know. Oh, you know. He was swagging there. He meant to do that. He was showing the Rubik what he had just narrowly avoided. That's like the opposite of a hashtag not sponsored. Like, I don't want to be sponsored. You could try to sponsor me and I would not take it. But please, if anybody wants to sponsor me, I will definitely, gladly take your money. And I'll use it to save the seals. Probably won't do that. But I might. You never know until you give it to me. Anyway, back to the Dota. Tier 1 tower has been taking bottom. Dragon Knight is no longer a dragon, but he's still pretty tanky, 1600 health. And he's the one going for a Radiance in this game. So you got Lifestealer pretty close to a Radiance. Dragon Knight not as close, but still he's going to get it at a fairly good time if his team continues to take these towers and control around the map. Lifestealer cleaving through everything with the Empower. While the tower is still being pushed on bottom. paiN Gamer like, hey, you guys want to defend this? Because I would defend it if I were you. But instead, paiN Gamer like, look, if you don't want to fight us, we will come to you. Blink Dagger up for Axe. They're just looking for some vision, and then they find it onto the Lifestealer. Can they get this kill? The Undying will do a good job of keeping the Lifestealer alive. There's a Soul Bind, and Rubik is in the middle of everybody. I guess they didn't want to fight that bad. Meanwhile, Dragon Knight is still going for this tower, taking it down very low. The tower will not burn. It will not burn out. It goes down to 15. You need one more hit to do it. Meanwhile, top, they kill off the Undying, and the Dragon Knight will stay alive. The tower stays alive as well. It's looking pretty crumbly. It's still alive. Mina goes all sneaky mode. This Arc Warden now has his Maelstrom and is not getting Midas efficiency, but there he goes. He uses it like a champ. Arc Warden doing very well in this game, but the Lifestealer is catching up a little bit. Now has a Sacred Relic on the way to a Radiance. Where's the vision? Did you see the Lifestealer a little bit? Axe hasn't learned his lesson from before. I think that NoPing want to make something happen. This is the reveal of the Magnus Blink Dagger. He's got it. Meanwhile, there's a hero bottom that's being slain by the Arc Warden. Lena's not doing too well for herself, and she does manage to TP away. See how much I can tell just by looking at the map chat? See, this is my perspective in game. I'm the observer here. I knew that the Lena was getting gone on by the Arc Warden bottom, but I knew that she was going to get out, so there was no reason... There was no reason to even worry about looking at it. That's just how confident I am and how much I am familiar with the game. So, 8K gold lead for paiN Gaming. I heard you all like graphs. Do you want to see some graphs? These are some really good graphs. Soulbind available for Grimstroke. You still have the Blink Dagger RP for the Magnus that I don't think has been shown yet. He's not really been on the map too often. He's hiding in the trees. Dragon Knight becomes Big Dragon Boy. And we've got Lelos chasing an Undying top. Poor Undying. Oh, that isn't going to do it. And then Axe gets bored. Arc double goes into the mid lane. Just takes a little bit of damage from that Flux. Oh my gosh, dude. What a great hero. Doesn't even have to be there to kill you. Arc Warden with the Mjolnir finishes. Finished. He now goes for the Boots of Travel. Pipe of Insight soon for the Axe. This is sort of similar to a game we saw earlier today between Furia and paiN Gaming, where paiN, like, they clearly had a lineup that was better. And you give them like 10 minutes to farm, and then they're like, all right, we got our items, we're ready to go. And there was no looking back from that. There's already an 8K gold lead here. Your Lifestealer is just going to be getting to an AC. And everybody else is really far behind. You have a Necrophos who has a mechanism, Guardian Greaves soon. I see a very similar situation happening here where paiN Gaming are amassing such a lead. They're farming a lot more effectively around the map. Dragon Knight's going to have his Radiance soon. Sacred Relic almost built up. Arc Warden now has his Boots of Travel. All of the heroes on paiN Gaming's side are getting these big items that NoPing has really no way of contesting at this point. Well, NoPing decided that they want to do something finally. Lifestealer needs to get out to Midas something. He got a little bit bored. His Midas was off of cooldown. He said, Magnus, you're taking too long. I would like to get out now. Arc Warden, what's he got? We know that he has his Boots of Travel. He hasn't put anything into the quick buy yet. I would think that with the Radiance almost completed for Dragon Knight, paiN Gaming go for a smoke soon, or maybe they just go for Roshan. Pipe of Insight almost completed for Axe as well. I mean, at this point in the game, like, sure, they're just farming. It's a 9K gold lead. It's another big dragon in the mid lane, just to keep it pushed out and farm a little bit more. And still, for NoPing's side, they're basically throwing all of their hopes on the Lifestealer, who now has an ultimate orb for his Manta style. And there's a Guardian Greaves complete on Necrophos. So the real test is, are these items enough to contest with paiN Gaming? Because if not, NoPing are in a world of hurt. We go in on the tier 1 tower. NoPing are getting bored. I don't see why. Farming is so much fun. Axe over to the side. He wants to go for the backlines. He definitely doesn't want to go for the Lifestealer, but he might with all that damage being done. He gets stunned underneath the tower. RP goes through, but we've got the call. Axe is so patient, waiting on the backlines. The Lifestealer is dead. It's just so perfect. It's so good. The patience from this Axe to wait until the initiation came through from the Magnus. He knew that RP was going to be there. He knew that there was absolutely no way that the Magnus didn't have Blink, that he waited. And as soon as that RP goes through, he gets the counter initiation. That fight, it was characterized so well by that Axe waiting. And it turns into a 4 for none. You get the Magnus Blink like 5 minutes ago. Aren't able to really get anything done at that time, so you just keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and eventually your team is like, we should do something with this. And unfortunately, the thing that they do is they go initiate, and Axe gets them big brained. He goes all big brain on them. Dragon Knight completed for the, well, Dragon Knight completes the Radiance. Dragon Tail onto the Undying. So much damage there immediately. There's your Dragon Breath. After that, Undying goes down. Rubik over to the side getting caught out, but someone else has been caught out as well. It's the Magnus. Shrine popped. Lelis chasing down the Lifestealer, and Lifestealer is going to go right into him, but HFN just does so much damage. Necrophos will be slowed down by this race as well. Blinked to the call, to the Necrophos. Axe just kills him. And all the Lifestealer can do is run away with the Rage. Where's your Blink, Axe? Are you going to kill this Lifestealer? I don't know, man. These fights just look so easy for paiN Gaming. 16k gold lead, and it's not like yesterday where the teams had trouble ending matches. This is paiN Gaming. They're pretty experienced. They know what they're doing when it comes to Dota. I honestly, oh man, what's this going on? I'm almost dying to the Arc Warden double. paiN Gaming have gone through a lot of hardship to get to this point. All the teams have, but they dropped down in round 1 to NoPing yesterday in 3 games, and then had to wait for NoPing to play Furia for about 3 hours, and then do a quick series yesterday. They lost to Unknown in the major qualifier final. They've had a tough past couple of days, and they've gone all the way to Game 5 up against NoPing. They were up against the wall, won Game 4, and have gotten to this point. And if there's something that brings you together as a team, it's having to go through all of that and making it through with some kind of victory. It would be great to see a South American team go into a minor and qualify for the major off of it. I don't think that's happened. I don't think that's happened yet. I might be wrong. I don't always keep up with it all that well, but it would be great to see paiN Gaming really come together and make it into the minor, or really any South American team, and get out of the minor into the major. It would be really cool, in my opinion. It's a region that in other esports games like CSGO has experienced a lot of growth, but haven't quite seen that yet in Dota. And the new system where you get a lot of teams qualified out of the closed qualifiers for the region can only help. But anyway, back to Dota, because that's what we're all talking about here. First Roshan of the game goes to the Dire side. You get Arc Warden picking it up. HFN now has his Shadow Blade. He'll be going Silver Edge. And he's got a ton of... Or no, he's not going Silver Edge. He's going Scythe of Vice first. Necrophos is pretty poor. He's got a Yule Scepter. Almost. Meanwhile, the Lifestealer has his Manta style completed now. Get that last creep before he TPs back with his Radiance. But paiN Gaming continue to farm and dominate in this game. It'll be a Solar Crest next for Axe. This Dragon Knight, I believe he has his BKB completed coming in on the Courier. And the AC will be next. Group up as the Arc Warden just TPs right in. The creep dies. Dragon Knight runs in. I don't know, man. He's taken really low. BKB used. He'll turn into a big dragon as the Arc double goes to work, almost taking down the Undying. Undying almost falling. There he goes. It's not even the Dragon Knight dies off of that. Now it's an Empower. Oh no. Rubik's got an Empower. This could get messy.
The jungle has everything Axe desires.
So another good fight goes down in the mid lane. NoPing, they didn't use many resources for it, I guess. Like, they used a Reaper Sight that didn't end up getting the kill. I guess Magnus was looking for something on the back line. His Arc Double is Still being a bit of a nuisance for the Radiant side. Eventually they take care of it. Well, the Dragon form will run out eventually, but will they find a hero? You don't see Lina. Either they do. But all of these lanes are getting pushed in for the Dire side. Scythe of Ice now completed. That's a double Scythe for Arc Warden. He gets that Tempest double up, and it'll be a Butterfly next. He is completely unhinged now. And they're ready to go for more towers. Tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Arc Warden makes quick work of it. paiN Gaming take a little bit more of an advantage off the map. NoPing want to make something happen here. There's no vision for the Dire side, and a couple of these expensive heroes are pretty far up. Grimstroke now far forward, and he's going to go for the D ward. RP goes out onto the Arc Warden, but Rubik gets the lift, and he steals the skewer. Arc Warden getting a little bit lower, but there's a stun, and he turns things around. It's not even a question. Dragon Knight going forward. Undying's not long for this world. He basically gets easily cleaned up. And paiN Gaming should be looking for some kind of push into the base now. Lelos to the high ground. There's still backdoor protection, sir. Need some creeps in there, which they will get eventually. paiN Gaming looking so strong right now. You even have Lelos who's looking for another blink call. There he goes, up to the high ground. Lifestealer already in the taunt, so Lelos runs back towards his own base, pulls the Lifestealer out as goodbye to your Necrophos. No chance to do anything. Cut down and slain brutally in the mid lane. Oh my gosh, what happened there? He's gotten out of the base, and the Undying has to buy back to stay in this game. Spark Race being placed down all over the Radiant base. As HFN keeps going to work on the tier 3 tower. Still keeping that lane pushed out. Tier 3 tower almost done. And Dragon Knight's already thinking about the future. Has another Elder Dragon form available. He's pushing out the top lane, while paiN Gaming wait for another wave to arrive. We still have the Aegis up, right? Aegis still on Arc Warden, so I think this is just going to be a full commit from paiN Gaming. 20 seconds left on the Aegis. Blink Skewer onto the Dragon Knight. Pretty good, but you don't have any RP, and all the Dragon Knight has to do is BKB, back up, and he's completely fine. HFN taking these heroes down. His Aegis is reclaimed in like 1 second or so. He doesn't really care. There's the regen. Blink to call. Necrophos in trouble. Turned into a pig and wrecked once again. 50 seconds on the sideline. Buyback from Magnus. He'll get the blink to the skewer. I don't even know if that was a blink. He just skewered the axe back to it, and it didn't matter. Buyback from Lina. Buybacks all over the place. As NoPing desperately tried to hold on to any kind of chance they have of surviving in this qualifier. Arc Warden stunned inside the base, but that's not the real one. That's the Tempest double, but it doesn't matter. He does more than enough damage to get the kill on the Undying, looking for a little bit more. Now that's a lot of damage with a blink call by the axe. Go on to 2. Give him 1 Culling Blade. Give him 2, because that's going to be GG. paiN Gaming take it in 5 and make it into the minor. What a performance from them. Honestly, well done to stick with it the entire day. 7 games today for them, and they did pretty darn well in 5 of them, and 5 was enough. 3 games to 2 goes the minor final, and that's going to be it for the night. So I'm going to go ahead and get some rest. Thank you all for watching and supporting the South American Dota along with me. pithinglegume. If you enjoyed the cast, you can follow me on Twitter at pithinglegume. My name is in the chat. My name is in the title. My name was in the stream. Thank you for watching, and as always, cheers.